Welcome or welcome back to Maya's Glow. So now we're going to go into part 2 of this video where we're talking about the Kenyan beauty industry. If you haven't caught up on part 1, please go and check it out. You're definitely missing out on so much that I discussed and shared with you guys. So go ahead and check for the link to that video in the description box, and I'm also going to link it above so that you guys can go and check it out. So now let's go into part 2. I'm so sorry for the noise in the background. There are some children playing outside and there isn't much I can do, but I do hope you guys can still hear me. And so let's just go into the next thing that I really wanted to talk about as far as the Kenyan beauty industry. So just a little disclaimer again, this video and my previous video, the part 1, is purely based on my personal opinion, my subjective experiences, my own personal observations. None of this content is based on a scientific analysis. I just want to share with you guys what I've seen, what I've noticed, and I think what I feel like I would like to mention in this particular video. And with that said, let's talk about influencer marketing as it relates to the Kenyan beauty industry, or rather the Kenyan beauty industry as it relates to influencer marketing. So obviously I'd say in the past 5 to 6 years, influencer marketing has really blown up. It's still growing here in Kenya, though it hasn't peaked or matured as much as it has in Western countries, and I can't wait for it to get there, especially speaking as a content creator. So when it comes to influencer marketing, it's basically brands, in this case specifically beauty brands, working with content creators or influencers to market and advertise their products to a potential audience which the influencer or the content creator already engages with on their own platforms. So the thing I've noticed is that, one, let's talk about niche content creators and lifestyle content creators. So what I mean by niche content creators, these are people who most of their content or a big bulk of their content is about a very specific topic. So maybe they only talk about tech, and most of the videos or all the videos on their channel, whether it's on YouTube or the photos or the images they post on their Facebook, Instagram, the videos on their Twitter, most of that content is about a specific thing. So we can say, for example, tech, there's a person who just purely puts out content on their Twitter, for example, talking about tech. We can have someone who is in culinary arts or cooking, and all the videos or most of the videos on their YouTube channel, it's about, you know, recipes, food preparation, anything to do with food. If it's beauty, it's someone who just does videos mainly focused on hair, makeup, skincare, nail care. And even within beauty, you can be very specific. So you only make videos on hair, or you only make videos or content on makeup, and so on and so forth. So that's what I mean by niche. Versus lifestyle, which I'd say most vloggers fall in that category, where it is just content that revolves around lifestyle. So either traveling, though travel in itself can be a niche type of content, but maybe this is someone who travels, and in the next vlog, you know, they're hanging out with you at a cafe. In the next vlog, they're going on a little shopping spree with you. In the next vlog, it's an at-home sit-down video on a story time type of content. So that's what lifestyle means. They're not really specific, or they're not really focused on a particular topic. They tend to more of showcase their lifestyle as a creator, or showcase a certain lifestyle as a creator. And the thing I've noticed is most brands, this is not just in beauty, but generally Kenyan brands, or even brands that are multinational brands with branches in Kenya, they tend to mostly go to lifestyle content creators for most of their campaign, which is not an issue. But then I've noticed that a lot of us niche content creators, I feel like I'd say as of now, I do fall in the category of niche content creators because I do specifically talk about beauty. A lot of us niche creators get really left out in these campaigns. And you know, it does suck because sometimes you can see maybe a brand is in tech, maybe they make phones or laptops, and maybe they need like 10 Kenyan content creators to use as influencers for their campaign. And you'll see probably 9 out of 10 of those creators will be lifestyle content creators. And so there are these creators who, maybe these guys are constantly reviewing products in tech, and you know, their content is heavily focused on what this brand actually offers. You'll notice those people get ignored by these brands, and I think that's where it's really hard to be a niche content creator. And that's where I've noticed a lot of content creators here in Kenya who start off as niche creators eventually branch out into lifestyle. I don't want to talk too soon, but maybe at some point I'll branch out into lifestyle. That's i.e. vlogging. And that's because it's easier to get more opportunities that way, because I do feel a lot of brands really overlook niche content creators. And recently I saw a beauty brand doing a huge campaign, and they completely ignored specific types of content creators who were niche creators who are doing such a good job. They have amazing engagement, they have a huge audience, but they're being ignored by these brands. I don't know why. I can't really, honestly, I can't even tell you why this particular brand has ignored these few content creators who are in the niche space of beauty. But again, I've noticed a lot of beauty brands tend to flood towards lifestyle content creators. And as much as, I mean, it's good, it's important for everyone to get an opportunity, but I do feel like niche content creators are really overlooked by brands, and I wish more beauty brands would actually realize that niche content creators add so much value. And it's because I do feel like most niche creators do give in-depth reviews on product. So if they're working with a brand, what I've noticed is that because this is their, you know, playground, they tend to be really detailed in their reviews. They tend to go the extra mile in researching and actually putting out information that would actually assist their audience have an interest in these products. Okay, that's just my opinion on that. And something else that actually touches on that or influences that is colorism and texturism. So colorism is basically the discrimination of people because of their skin tone, and basically the people who have the privilege are light-skinned people, while those oppressed by this system are dark-skinned people like myself. And then texturism is where people with looser curl textures tend to be regarded more highly than people with kinkier hair textures. So texturism has to do with hair, and colorism has to do with skin tone. And I've noticed beauty brands in Kenya have a lot of bias regarding this, and that's why I was actually thinking about this specific beauty creators who I honestly thought will be a part of this campaign by this brand were ignored. I think it has a lot to do with colorism and texturism, because I did look at the creators they worked with in their campaign, and almost all, or rather most of them, were light-skinned in a Kenyan market. Like it makes me so mad, but I think in future I'm just going to do an entire video or a video series on colorism and texturism, because it's such a big problem in the beauty industry. And it just hurts me so much how it affects those of us who are darker skinned and or have kinkier hair textures, how we are ignored by these beauty brands because we don't fit into the standard of beauty. So we tend to be overlooked in certain campaigns. And also to do with influencer marketing, I definitely have noticed that brands, especially small, upcoming, newer indie brands, tend to ignore micro influencers and rush and try and get straight to the bigger influencers. These are probably thousands to hundreds and thousands of followers on their platforms, and ignore these micro influencers who would actually play such an important role in growing with the brand. And it's more likely that this small brand has a budget that might better fit the micro influencer versus this a big influencer. And what I've seen some brands here in Kenya do is they ignore the micro influencers. So when they have a campaign, they ignore the micro influencers, pour all their money into the bigger content creators, and then they'll only send PR to the micro influencers and expect the micro influencer to create content in the same way this big influencer who was paid money by this brand has created the content. And something else I've noticed on the other side is that these small brands, some of them, instead of working on a full-on campaign with a micro influencer who could actually add value to their brand and increase sales, some of them do prefer to just send PR to bigger influencers in the hope that they'll, either mention it in either a vlog, a sit-down video, or on their Insta stories, which is effective because, again, there are more eyes with the bigger influencers. However, working with the micro influencers can actually yield amazing results because brands will actually be working in depth with this creator, and they'll be putting out more long-form content, more likely with this creator, versus just relying on PR. Anyway, this is not a rant video. It was just me sharing my opinion. We can definitely talk about the influencer and content creator space another time, but I'm sure you guys, especially those of you who are watching and are content creators here in Kenya, I'm definitely sure that you can relate. Okay, so let's talk about advertising. I do have a notebook down here, so if you see me looking down, I'm just looking at my notebook. Advertising is basically just making sure that your audience is aware of what you offer as a brand, who you are as a brand, and just making sure that you're out there and you've put yourself out there to your potential audience. And what I've noticed is some beauty brands here in Kenya are very relaxed about advertising their products to their customers. So a little background, I have worked in advertising for 2.5 years. So I feel like that knowledge is also going to play a part into what I'm going to say here. But basically, there are some brands who could care less about advertising, and I think it's because, one, they've been in the market for so long, and so they feel like people know our name. Do we really need to constantly keep reminding them that we exist? No, we don't. Or maybe we can a little bit, not so much. And then there are the brands who, especially newer brands, who are really aggressive with their marketing. They're giving it their all, they're putting in their 110% to make sure that their consumers know about their brand, know about new product launches, know about how to use their products, etc., where they can find them, and all that juicy information. So for this particular part of the conversation, two brands that I picked up that were on different ends of the spectrum were Allison. Allison is a brand, I'm not sure if it's the name of the company, but it's the brand that produces the coconut oil that we all know so well. Their products tend to be heavily available in supermarkets and beauty stores. So they have a bunch of oils and also other products as well, that are beauty related, that you can find in supermarkets and beauty stores. And then we also have Joanna K Cosmetics, which is a makeup line or a makeup brand, and they do sell their products online via their website. And it's, yeah, I think I'd say a fairly new brand. I think they've been in the market for about 2 or 2.5 years. And so these are the two brands that I'll be using for this particular conversation. So for Alison, I've noticed they are so chill. Like, have you even ever seen an ad by Alison on either a magazine or a billboard or even online? I checked out their page on social media and it was very dormant. So they're not aggressive in their advertising, which in my personal opinion, I think may be detrimental to the brand in the long run, especially now. So many brands have come up and are offering these amazing products that are also like their products. So oils, essential oils, scrubs, stuff like that. And you know, it's competition, and if you're in a competitive market, you definitely need to be really aggressive in your advertising. But I've noticed this brand barely puts in much effort in their advertising, especially online, which has really blown up right now and is really hot. I don't really see much advertising in regards to that. I think they rely on the name and the fact that, you know, most people know that they do make these oils and these oils are available in the supermarket. So I guess, you know, that model is in a sense working for them, versus we have the Joanna K Cosmetics, who are really aggressive with their social media marketing, you know, whether it's through the kind of content they post on their social media pages or even running paid ads on social media. They also have a website, so they're really, really aggressive in their marketing. They do send PR products to some other content creators, so it's really amazing to see like how aggressive and focused they are on reaching their target consumer. And I think it's really worked out for them, because they have amassed a huge following on social media, and by doing that they've definitely like grown their pool of potential consumers. So I do think that's something that's working out really well for them. And you know, that's just how advertising works. The more you push yourself out there, the more people know you, the more likely you are to reach a wider audience of people who can actually be your consumers, versus if you're too relaxed and, you know, you're just like, we'll just stick with the people who know us. Eventually other competitors will come into the market, and if you don't keep reminding people like, hey, we're here, hey, we just launched a new product, or hey, you know, this is what we're doing now with our brand and stuff like that, people can easily forget, because again, as consumers, we have so many options. And then the final thing I wanted to talk about is service providers. So these are people who provide any kind of services in the beauty industry. So we're talking makeup artists, masseuses, I believe that's what they're called, the people who offer you massages in spas, facialists, estheticians, hairstylists, nail techs, so anyone who offers you a service in the beauty industry. And I can definitely say there's been an increase in demand of services in this industry, especially the past I'd say 7 years from my own observation. And I do think this is in part to, you know, people probably feeling the need to have more beauty treatments or get more beauty treatments, maybe as a result of social media, or just a change in culture generally as far as beauty is concerned, and just the increase in demand for these services. And so it's actually helped to grow the industry, which is amazing, so that we have more makeup artists, more hairstylists, more service providers in the industry actually earning a living of their work. So that's definitely been a huge positive. And also we have an increase in, you know, the desire for consumers such as myself and you guys watching to have a better quality of service. So when you go to a salon to get your hair done, is the salon clean? How was the customer service when you were there? Was your hair done as per what you expected when you were actually heading there? So all these things play a role in how the consumer experiences whatever service they've actually received. And definitely the need for consumers to actually be like, hey, you know, you guys at salon XYZ or service provider XYZ, you need to really boost or improve the quality of services that you guys offer, because at the end of the day, consumers are paying for these services and they do want more. They want better care of, you know, their body, of their hair. And something I've noticed is that there's definitely been a growth in the market of like luxury beauty service providers. So certain salons and spas that really provide a high quality service to their consumers. So when you get there, you know, you have someone to receive you, help you place, maybe if you are carrying packages on you, place your packages somewhere, relax. Maybe you're given a glass of wine right before your service. The salon is clean. Maybe you're sitting on a massage type recliner as you're having your hair done. So I've definitely seen an increase in this like luxe spas and salons, because again, consumers want better. They want to experience better. And then one last thing I've just remembered about is consumer knowledge, and I feel like this has influenced all the things we've talked about, because now thanks to the internet and, you know, there just being such a huge pool of information for us to actually dig through, we can actually, you know, inquire about the certain ingredients that are in a certain products. We can figure out whether a product is fake or not by actually looking at photos online and figuring that out. We can actually check and see if products have been correctly priced. So I guess this is something maybe we can talk about in another video, but what I've noticed is that some certain online stores, especially Instagram stores, they will import products from abroad and sell them to their consumers, and some of them do really hike up the prices in an unfair way. I do know that obviously as a business owner, especially if you're selling products that you had to ship in, that you have to pay for taxes, that you have business costs to actually consider, and also you have to consider your profit. You need to make a profit from your business. But I'm seeing certain shops, especially Instagram stores, charging 5 times the price of a product, and I believe it's still because we're not yet there to like a peak point of consumer information where most of the consumers or a majority of the consumers have all the info on pricing, and so I do feel like there's a bit of exploitation of consumers. I don't know, you guys let me know. Do you feel like certain stores do hike the products that they import from abroad? Comment down below and let me know. So basically, yeah, consumer knowledge is really important, and the more it increases, the more as consumers will actually demand better. And with that, I'm going to end this video. Thank you so much for staying up all the way till the end. And again, if you didn't catch part 1, please check it out so that we can engage more on this conversation. And you can also get to hear more about the beauty industry and other aspects or categories of the beauty industry that I've actually shared with you guys. Check for a link in the description box so that you can head on over to that video. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for all the support. We are now at 350 subscribers. Like, thank you so much. Like the past 2 years, they've been intense, it's been challenging. Honestly, when I was getting onto YouTube, I didn't realize the challenges that I would face, you know, from uploading content to creating the actual content to post-production, conceptualization, and all those things. And sometimes I do get overwhelmed, but at the end of the day, I keep reminding myself, like, okay, why do I do this? Why did I actually start this? And that really motivates me to keep me going, because like I said, even in my previous video, beauty is just something I'm really into. It's something that has always lit a spark in my heart and that I want to share with you guys, and I also want to hear from you guys as well. So I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has supported me in every and any way. I really appreciate your support, like so much. You guys mean so much to me, this community, this platform. Like, it's really been such a space of inspiration, a space of comfort, and just a space where I feel like I can actually share the thing that I'm really passionate about. So again, thank you so much for the past 2 years, and if you're new here, welcome. Please do subscribe, and please be sure to also hit the notification bell as well, so that you guys are always informed whenever I upload a new video. And again, thank you, and I can't wait to see you guys in my next video.